Hey everyone, Kevin here with the KC Quick Shift Miami race recap. And Miami gave us a lot to talk about. Kimi Antonelli takes the win for Mercedes ahead of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. And this was not just another victory. This felt like we're watching what become the first teenage F1 champion. Kimi has now won 3 straight Grand Prix from pole. And what really stood out in Miami was how complete his driving looked. Earlier on, people have talked about how strong he was in slower corners, but now we're seeing him master the medium and high speed sections as well. The big thing with Kimi is now how smooth he looks in the car. He looks gentle with the wheel, patient on the throttle, and far less busy in the cockpit than other drivers chasing him. He's not fighting the car, he is letting the car work underneath him. And on a track like Miami, where tire management matters so much, that made a huge difference. I mean, he summed it up afterwards saying, "This was not an easy race at all, but I'm so happy we were able to bring the victory home." Even Charles Leclerc, who felt Ferrari had the pace to win, gave Kimi credit after the race saying, "I feel like we should have won the race out there today, but Kimi drove a good race, so it's hats off to him." That says a lot. Ferrari believed the win was possible, but Antonelli still executed when it mattered. And that brings us to George Russell. Wow, Russell had a difficult weekend again compared to Antonelli. And at one stage, Kimi was more than 30 seconds up the road in the same Mercedes. That's a huge gap. Russell has talked about low grip circuits being tricky for him. And he admitted and said that he felt like he struggles on these low grip circuits like Miami, Zandvoort, and Brazil. But the problem is Antonelli is dealing with the same track, the same heat, and the same surface, and he's making it work. That does not mean Russell is suddenly lost, but it does mean he now has a teammate problem, something he did not think he was going to have. Antonelli is just not quick over the lap, he's controlling races. But George is not giving up. He said, "I've got enough experience myself in championships. I've won on how momentum swings throughout the year." So I guess we don't give up on George, but this is different than what he thought this year was going to be. McLaren also came away from Miami looking strong. Lando finished second and Oscar made it 2 McLarens on the podium. Oscar summed it up pretty well saying, "To come away with the podium obviously is great. I think third was the best we could do." That feels like the story of McLaren's day. The car was good, the result was strong, but Antonelli and Mercedes just had enough in hand. The race-shaping moment was the pit stop, though. Mercedes stopped Antonelli first, and McLaren left Norris out too long. Planet F1 says Antonelli stopped on lap 27 when he was 1.8 seconds behind Norris. Lando had seemed to have the race in hand, and that more than flipped the race through the pit cycle. Lando, speaking like the reigning F1 champion that he is, said, "Kimi did a good job. Hats off to Mercedes and Kimi. They drove a good race." For Ferrari, this was another painful one. Charles had strong pace early and felt like they were fighting for the win. But once again, Ferrari looked harder on its tires than Mercedes and McLaren. Then the race really came apart late with a costly mistake in turn 3 on the final lap. Charles admitted it afterwards, saying, "The last lap mistake is obviously all on me, and it cost us a P3 or a P4. He said he was very disappointed with himself. Then came the penalty. That made a bad finish even worse, dropping him down to 8th place in the final standing. Max Verstappen also had one of the most dramatic races of the day. A lap 1 complete 360 spin dropped him down the order. But incredibly, because of his supreme talent, he was able to come out of that spin and keep on going. From there, he put together a proper recovery drive and still managed to finish 5th. But he was also handed a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane, but it didn't make any difference in his finish. And then he said, "Clearly an outlier weekend for me. Bit of a shame, of course, what happened in turn 2. Yeah, a bit of a shame. A 360 spin, and he keeps it in the gas and then goes straight. Incredible, just incredible. But even on an outlier weekend, Verstappen, he still found a way to drag a result out of it. And that says plenty. He's a 4-time champion. Further back, there was some positive. Franco Colapinto continues. He ended up 7th, and he praised Alpine's efforts after bringing the upgrade, saying, The team has done a very big effort to bring new parts for the cars. Very proud to have the performance back. The Argentinians must be so happy. Carlos Sainz also sounded encouraged after a stronger run, saying the pace was quicker than the midfield, a much better, much more straightforward performance. And I mean, that's both cars in the points for Miami, so that's great. And that brings me to one final thought. There are still plenty of naysayers when it comes to the new regulations. And I understand that. But races like this are exactly why we should keep an open mind. We're seeing different strengths from different teams. Strategy is making a real difference. And the cars are giving us exciting racing with incredible starts. Miami might be the best example so far. A new star winning again, McLaren pushing hard, Ferrari fighting but falling short, Verstappen recovery, penalties changing the picture. That is exactly the kind of racing Formula One needs right now. Well, that's it for now. Full Miami race recap, penalties, winners and losers, and the key stories are up now at kcf1update.ca. The F1 news summarized for quick reading. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.